Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
We've got people coming in, so we're so excited to see you guys. Thank you for being here. Awesome.
Welcome, everyone.
Excellent. I'm so glad the waiting room worked this time. The last workshop, I had the waiting room set up, but I didn't really. And so everybody was coming in early and we weren't ready. So this worked out really well.
Hi, Kim. I see you, Chad. Nice. I'm glad you're here.
All right. We'll give it just another minute or two to see if anybody else pops in, and then we will go ahead and jump right in and get started. All right. Awesome.
What do you think? Should we get started?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to LinkedIn Profile Perfection, how to get companies and clients to know you. I am Deborah Brown-Volkman, and I'm here with Stacy, and we are just so excited. We're so excited. Leslie joined. Welcome, everyone. A little bit about myself. I am a career goals advisor to executives in Fortune 500 companies. I am a LinkedIn new job search strategist. I work with job seekers and employed professionals, and my superpower is helping you get noticed on LinkedIn, because you want to attract recruiters and hiring managers in this really brutal and competitive job market and marketplace. So I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Deb. So I am Stacy Olesko, and I'm a brand and messaging strategist and a copywriter. I work primarily with B2B impact-driven brands. And what I do is help you find clarity in your messaging so you can confidently explain what you do and how it helps. And so we are going to tackle this from both ends today. We're going to talk about your profile and how you can optimize that regardless of who you're looking to connect with. So here's how it's going to work today. Sorry, I'm like admitting people while I'm talking here. Okay.
I know, you multitasking. That's what you have to do on LinkedIn. You have to multitask.
That's right. That's right. So here's the plan for today. We're going to start off with a little Q&A between me and Deb. So we have a few questions we're going to post to each other to share with you guys their questions that people kind of commonly ask or want to know about. Then we're going to give you some common mistakes. We have kind of our top 10 list. And then we're going to break down some profiles for you so you guys can see some like real LinkedIn profiles, what works great about them, some areas for improvement. And at the very end, we've got time for a Q&A. So what we're going to ask you guys to do is, as you have questions, drop them in the chat. If we don't address them throughout the presentation, then we'll do them at the end. And if we do them at the very end, we'll save the chat, and either Deborah, whoever can answer that question, we'll make sure that we reach back out to you so you get that question answered. So if you guys tell us who you are too, we'd love to hear about you guys. So if you will just drop in the chat who you are, what you do, and maybe where you're coming from, we'd love to see that. All right, while they're dropping that in, let's see, I'll head on over to the next slide, and I'm going to be posing a question in just a moment to Deb to start us off with. All right, I really am multitasking, guys. I'm like,
I know, I see it. I love it. The waiting room is good.
This is amazing. Awesome. All right, so Deb, I have a question I want to start off. I want to ask you first.
Okay.
Because I know that this is something that comes up often. Awesome. Ooh, grad student from Canada. Excellent. Welcome.
Love it.
Great.
Okay.
Guys, keep your eye on the chat and connect with people that might be a great fit for you to connect with while they're dropping their information in. All right. So Deb, I know this is a big top question people have for you. So what would you say is the most important section of a LinkedIn profile for making a strong first impression, specifically if you're seeking a job?
Okay, so the number one important section is the section that people, I think, spend the least time with, and that is your headshot and your banner. Now, so important to have a really good It doesn't have to be professional, but it has to be a headshot that conveys who you are and what you want people to see in your industry. And you want it close up, and you want it to be your best look. I've seen so many different pictures, and I don't want to say that they're not as great as they could be, but LinkedIn is a place where it's your digital storefront, it's your digital business card. So you need the best picture that you possibly could have. And then the banner, I see so many empty banners. You want something that has color and vibrance, and something that has you stand out. It is the first thing that people see. It is the first thing that people notice. It's like it is the same thing as a web page. If it doesn't attract them immediately, people will click and they'll just go. They'll just leave.
You're exactly right. Oh my, yes. I would say the same thing with one addition. If what you're searching for is clients, super important that you have that clear banner. I know there's so many people out there that, you have something that's either blank or doesn't speak to what you do. And like Deb said, it's just like your website. Instantly, people need to know what's in it for them, why they should choose you. And if you don't do that, you lose them. But the other thing I would add is your headline. And making sure, because sometimes people only see you in the comments first, and that headline needs to speak to them. And when I break down some profiles, I'm going to talk about that particularly.
Okay, I do want to say something about the banner. I agree with you. If you're a business owner, you want verbiage. You want verbiage in there. You want something to pop. Here's what I do. Here's what I bring to the table. But as a job seeker, you want something that reflects who you are. So I've had clients that from San Francisco, they have the San Francisco Bay Bridge behind them. If you like music, have your banner be music oriented. If you like mountains, if you like the beach, if you like to mountain climb, have something that shows your personality. So they both do the same thing. They both are there to attract, but they're a little different depending on who you want to attract.
Love that.
That's all right. Okay. All right. So I have a question for you, and I have a good one for you. So how can business owners convey their value without sounding like they're selling?
Ooh, that's my pet peeve, is people sounding like they're selling. Nobody wants to be sold to, guys. And so, yeah, absolutely. I think, there's a few key things. One, I would say, is keep it conversational. You don't want jargon, really, in any of your copy or content, but especially in your website headline or anywhere that you are, your LinkedIn headline or anywhere that you are. With LinkedIn, people are looking to get a feel really for what's in it for me. And so if you are talking about how great you are and all the things you do and all the things you've accomplished, and then using all of this industry jargon, it's actually a turnoff, and it sounds a little bit more like you're selling than like you're trying to connect. And so it's really important that you use the kind of language your clients are going to use, that you speak to their problems, to their pain points, and you do it in a way that sounds like you're trying to have a conversation, not like you're trying to pitch to them.
Yes,
and I'll share some other examples too in my profile breakdowns.
Yeah, I mean, you are selling yourself, but the first thing they want to do is they want to like you and they want to trust you. What they want to see is energy. They want to see energy. They want to see passion. And if that comes through your profile, through your about section, through your picture, through your professional experience, that is going to sell. It's going to sell you, and it's going to sell itself.
Yes. Yeah. And Deb, would you say the same thing is true, I think, even for job seekers, right? Like, for sure, you should highlight your accomplishments, but there's a way that you can do that positions you a little bit differently than just to list off all of your, here's why I'm so amazing. Do you feel like it applies there too?
I do. That's why I like the featured section of LinkedIn, and also it has a media section. So in your work experience, you can add links to your work. You can add links to articles. You can add links to videos. You can use these additional sections to really kick it up a notch, and that's a great way to get noticed.
Okay, so that's perfect segue into my next question for you, Deb. What's the best way to structure your experience section so it stands out for recruiters?
Okay. Your experience section, especially when you're a job seeker, the first thing they do is they take a look at your headline, take a look at your about, and they go right to your experience section. And what I see in many profiles is this section is not filled out. So people they'll change jobs, they won't update it. They'll have what they do, but they don't have any bullets. They don't have any accomplishments. It's empty. I would say it is the the top section that is probably, it's the section that people don't pay attention to the most, and it's the most important section that there is.
I would say I agree when it comes to seeking for clients too. I mean, mine recently even was just a bulleted list. I kept meaning to change it, And that doesn't tell people really about you and the benefit of working with you or hiring you. So that's awesome.
Yes, and even if you're working for yourself, you still want your experience section filled out, because we buy people based on what they've done before. So you want to see someone that has experience and has been doing this for, and it doesn't have to be a long time, but they're doing it. In this economy, a lot of people are jumping off. They're taking their side hustle, they're making it their career. So that experience section, even in the beginning, if you don't have a lot of clients and you're still building, you can say, you know what, I am an expert. I have expertise. Take a look at my experience section. I can do this, and now I'm doing it for myself.
I love
doing it for you, right?
Yes. Something to add to that too is when I first started on LinkedIn, I was getting so many people who were looking at my profile for what I used to do, because I used to be in education and I had all my experience listed prior to this. And everybody was looking me up for coach because I was an instructional coach when I was working in education. And as soon as I took that off my experience section, I haven't had people finding me for that anymore. And so I think it just really think about when you are looking, what's your relevant experience?
Yeah. So, when you're first starting out, your first client is you. What you went through and what you accomplished and how you got to the other side, and your story. Your story is very important, and that goes in the about section. That's another thing that helps you connect, with clients, recruiters, and companies and hiring managers.
You got it. All
okay.
Right. Thank you guys for all these introductions. There's so many different people in here. I love this. And so we're super excited. What we're going to head to next, and as you guys keep using the chat, if we say something and you have a question or you agree, disagree, drop it in there. We're happy to entertain that chat section. What we're going to move on to next is common mistakes. So we have our top 10 for you. Some mistakes that we see. So Deb's going to start us off at mistake number 10.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the first 5, right? No. Right. So number 10 top mistake is not customizing your LinkedIn URL. They give you a LinkedIn URL with a lot of numbers and letters on the end. You can go into your profile page and you can change that, shorten it. You'd like to have your name, right? So not having customization is number 10. Number 9 is no recommendations, or ones from years and years and years ago. A lot of profiles I see, people spend time in the beginning, I guess, when they put up their profile and they put up recommendations, and there's recommendations that are 10 years, 20 years. That's a long time. You want it. LinkedIn, when you look at the profile page, they have the top 2 that you can see. So at least you want the top 2 to be as updated as possible. That was number 9. Number 8 is having an outdated skills section that doesn't match with your current experience. I think that people put up a LinkedIn profile, they do the skills that they have at the moment, but then that moment passes and they evolve and they progress, and those skills don't really showcase who they are in the moment. Number 7 is your experience section is incomplete. That's what I was saying. There's stuff that's missing. There's no verbiage. What did you do? And number 6 is not proofreading for typos or grammatical errors. If you would proofread your resume, please proofread your LinkedIn profile.
All right, all really good ones. All right, so I'm going to take it from here with the top 5. So number 5, I alluded to this before, using jargon or buzzwords without demonstrating real expertise. So a couple of reasons. One, it's off-putting, right? When we spend so much time in our jobs, we get used to the jargon, but that's not the language that your ideal clients are trying to speak. And I think, Deb, you can speak to a little bit on the job seeker side, but for sure, when you come to the client side, most people don't know what that means. And a lot of people are using those buzzwords. And so then they almost become irrelevant when everything is cutting edge or everything is innovative or everything's about optimizing and streamlining. What does that really mean? And so you want to really speak in the language your customers are using and, conversational speak. Number 4, include a strong featured section that showcases articles, presentations, portfolio work, testimonials, anything that also helps demonstrate your expertise and builds credibility for you. Number 3, the number 3 mistake that we see is leaving the summary section blank or writing it as a boring list of responsibilities for job seekers, or as a biography or a list of your accomplishments if you're looking to attract clients. Yes, your about section's about you. It's also about the person that you are trying to connect with. Number 2, having a generic or incomplete headline that doesn't explain your value. It's kind of a tie between that and number 1, using a blurry or unprofessional profile photo or none at all. That's what people see right away, whether they are on your profile page or in the comments. And so you want to make sure that you have those 10 things in place.
Yeah, isn't that great? You know, we keep coming back to photo. The photo is probably one of the most important things you can have on your profile. So, you know, have it be the best photo that it can possibly be.
And if you're looking to seek clients, make sure that your photo also aligns with your brand. It's okay. You know, I think we have this idea that we need to be professional, and professional means you have a profession. Okay. That doesn't mean you have to have a headshot in a business suit unless that aligns with your brand. And so if your brand's a little bit sassy, you can make your photo sassy. So that's really important for that consistency.
Yes. One last thing. If you want to dress like you're walking into an interview. So if you're in financial services, you'll be in a suit. If you're in tech, you'll be more casual. If you're outdoors, doing mountain climbing, you'll be in that outfit. You want to dress like you would for an interview.
I love it. Okay, so we've given you sort of an overview of some common questions, some big mistakes that we see, but we know what's really helpful is you guys actually seeing this in action. What does that really look like? So what we're going to do is we're going to take turns looking at a few different profiles. Deb's going to look at a profile of a job seeker, talk about what's working well, some room for improvements. Then we'll switch. I'll do the same thing for business owners looking to attract clients, and we'll go back and forth. So make sure you guys, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat as we are going. I'm going to shift over here to sharing. Oops, sorry. All right. I put these. Oh, I'm sharing first, Deb, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sharing first.
All right.
We are going to take a look first at Jay Emanuel's. He is it's very obvious what he does. If you look at his profile right away, he is a super clear banner and headline. It's just like the hero section of your website. People want to know right away who you are, what you do, and what's in it for them. Right? So you can look at his banner. I'll publish your book, only 1 hour of your time needed. Plus, you don't pay until you're 100% pleased with your final book. Message me for details. So in his banner right here, he tells you what he does, gives you a guarantee, and then a strong call to action. You know exactly what to do. So this is an excellent example. The suggestion or feedback I would make is there's 2 things. 1, always check on mobile. It's a lot easier to see what things look like on desktop, and that's usually where we tend to create these kinds of things. But a lot of people, whether you're looking for a job or a client, they're searching on their phone. So my suggestion would be just be careful, make sure that your type is big enough. Same thing with this headline. I'll publish a nonfiction book in your voice that generates leads and grows your business. So that this is where there's no buzzwords, no jargon, right? He doesn't talk about lead generation strategies. He just talks about it in the exact way that his clients are talking about it. You don't have time to write a single word, and I don't use AI. I bet those are 2 objections or hesitations people would have immediately to working with him. And again, look at this profile picture, right? It stands out, clear, aligned with his brand. All right, so next we're going to look at his about section. His about section is also really great. He starts off with, it's no secret that having a book is a cheat code to growing your business and increasing your influence. He's speaking to the desires of what people want. That's it, right up with a stat. But there's a reason why 80% of people want to write a book, but only 1% ever do. They think it'll take too darn long to write. So if you are interested in the services Jay provides, that's compelling enough that it's going to draw you in, and you're going to want to read a little bit more. He's got that conversational language. It's formatted really easy. This is one of the biggest mistakes, Deb. This probably should have made of our top 10.
Yes.
Format things for readability. Nobody wants to read a huge chunk of text. And so break it up so that it's easy for people to skim and to scan, because most people, that's what they do, is they're just going to skim and scan and look for the highlights. The other thing I love that Jay does here is he's got a DM me book and let's chat. He's got another call to action right at the end. So even though this is a really great example of an about section, there are a couple things he could do to make it even stronger. One of the things I would recommend right off the bat is including either a testimonial or some kind of social proof within there. Those are always great to throw in, especially let's say that somebody was worried about, or he talks about you have a book that's authentically yours and can generate leads and sales every single day. If he has a testimonial that references getting leads from their book, that would be great to throw in there. The other thing I would suggest is make it really, really easy for people to contact you however they want to contact you. So I would also just maybe throw in email address, his website, other pieces of information like that. All right, next, one thing you might notice, he lacks a featured section. He didn't take advantage of the featured section in his profile. And for me, this is where I think there's huge room for improvement. It's one of the first things when you scroll down on a profile that you can see is someone's featured section. And this would be a great place where he could showcase some of the work that he's done, whether it's testimonials that he's sharing or posts or, even a link to book a call. You want to make it where people don't have to search. Everything's about being as easy as possible. And then the last thing I would suggest that he's missing here, Deb brought this up earlier, is recommendations. So he doesn't have any recommendations on here. Don't be afraid to ask people. LinkedIn makes it really easy where you can request a recommendation from someone. So if you are, looking for clients and you work with someone, they're happy to help you out, but sometimes people just don't even think about shoot them a DM, just requesting a recommendation. And the nice thing is you get to see it and you can approve the recommendation before it goes up there, but those go a long way. Social proof is going to be your strongest currency. And what I really love is Jay's experience section here, which I think this is going to definitely be different for job seekers. But if what you're looking for is to connect with clients, he shares how he helps. It's another opportunity, almost like a second headline for people to know what he's done over that time and has those relevant skills like Deb mentioned.
All right, I would say, can I add something about this experience section? I would flush this out. He did such a good job saying, this is who I am. Here's how I can help you. There's no accomplishments here. There's no results. He could really have fun with this. Yep. He can add some media, some sections to really, really play this up. And we did get a really just quick question about recommendations. How many? You can have as many as you want, but usually when it comes to the recommendation section, when you pull it up, you see the top two. So you at least want the top two to be as recent as possible. Yeah.
Yep. And make sure that's a good point too, because I was looking at mine recently and noticed oh, hey, some of these are kind of old. I should probably ask for another recommendation or two. That's a great question. Yep. And I love what you were saying for Jay, even if it was something as simple as 30 plus books published or whatever that piece of data is to back it up. But overall, this is a really good profile. Those other few tweaks would do even more to connect. All right. Any more questions about this one, or are we ready to move on to yours, Deb?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. So
nice job, Jay. Congratulations.
All right.
All right. So this is a quickie. This is a quickie, but you would be surprised how many times I see profiles like this, right? So this profile has no picture, no background, no followers. And I know this gentleman, right? And I even said this to him. If you look at his experience, he doesn't even work at the town of Brookhaven anymore. He doesn't even work there anymore. So he is like many people who put up a banner, who put up a LinkedIn profile, and then they just forget about it and they don't do anything with it. And they think, oh, it's really no big deal. I'm just going to leave it as is. But, LinkedIn, when someone searches your name, LinkedIn comes up on top of the search engines. And because of that, whatever you have, people are still seeing this. So Artie, if he wants to do something else, they're going to take a look and see this person put no energy into his LinkedIn profile at all. So why should we hire this person? It doesn't seem like he really cares. It doesn't seem like he really cares about his career. So people will see this, and that sometimes the sections that are empty actually say more about you, have more impact than the sections that are filled in. So this is not a good impression for him. I've actually asked him to take it down. He hasn't done it because I guess he doesn't care. He doesn't care. But if your profile is that bad, and I'm not saying bad, but I'm saying if your profile is this empty, you might as well take it down, delete it.
And, Deborah, I know when we were promoting this event, so many people were popping in on the comments and they were saying, yep, I'm a recruiter. And first thing I do is I go to LinkedIn to look at your profile. So you can't underestimate the importance of having something up there that shows the effort. Yep. Well, that was a short one. Do you want to do your next one before I go again? All right, let me.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So here's your next one.
All right, so we have Jenny, right? So Jenny's profile, she didn't do such a bad job with it. I mean, she does have a photo, she does have a banner. The thing about the banner is she is promoting the place that she is working for. I would like you to promote yourself. Your LinkedIn profile is not just the company you work for at the moment, or it could be, but it is you are taking it wherever you go. So I would like to see a different banner, something that is more of her, what she likes, what she cares about. Jenny also is not open to work, right? So that should come down. She's not. If you when we scroll down, you can see she's working in a job. She's happy. She's so happy there. She's the office manager. She's so happy there that she, she's not looking for work. I mean, it's part of her banner. So, Stacy, if you go back up. So basically, when she was looking for work, she put this up and she kept it there. So and you can't see her, like you can't see her face. So I would change the banner. She can keep this picture maybe, but you can zoom in on LinkedIn. You can edit your photo and zoom in. The open to work banner, it goes back and forth. Some people say put it, some people say don't put it. It does stereotype you. So it really depends. My recommendation is to not keep it. If you want to keep it, go for it. It's your profile. It's whatever makes you happy. I think it does have a connotation to it, and that you can show who you are in your about section and other ways that you're open to work. I'm not sure you need a green banner, but I actually asked Jenny about this because I asked her if I could do her profile. I'm like, are you still looking? She's not looking. So I gave her some of this feedback also. Her about section is not bad. I don't really have anything to say about it. She's an operations focused leader, 10 years experience. She probably could have a little bit more results, but for what she does, this is not a bad about section. Where I would really focus her profile is her work experience. Stacy, if you open some of these see more bullets, look at this list. It reads like a job description, so nobody wants to see this long list, even though the first one, she did something over 95%. So there is some numbers here, but, just, 3 to 5 bullets, make it be the best ones that you have some numbers, some impact. How did you leave your jobs better than you found them? I mean, that's really, really where you want to come from. There's a lot of, like you were saying earlier, Stacy, jargon, like W-2s, PTOs. That's not bad for her industry, but if she wanted to go somewhere else, maybe some people know it, some people don't. A lot of times what I advise people to do is spell it out. So she implemented a PO system, spell out what PO system means, and then you can have the acronyms in brackets. So you cover both. So I would cut down these bullets. It's the same for each one of them. And if you scroll down to her recommendations.
And before I do that real quick, I just want to throw in quickly copywriting, because I think this is so important for both. When I look at this, my first inclination is just to close it and move on. Yeah. And so sometimes we think, let's give all the information, but that's not what everybody wants to see. People are going to skim, and if it's compelling, they might keep reading. But yeah, like Deb said, way, way, way too much information in one place.
Yes, so, and they're all this way. she has recommendations to, 2012, right? So that's, it's like one recommendation. So, in your profile page, when it comes to recommendations, you might want to keep this. You don't have to delete it. There's a little green button. You can put it on, you can put it off. So she can hide this in her profile. She can hide it so she can keep it should she want to add more recommendations. And if you just go up a little bit, to her education.
Oh, hang on, I was admitting someone and I had to.
Good at multitasking. Who said it than Stacy? All right, go down a little bit go a little bit down to her education. She has her dates. I would take off the dates. You really don't need them. When it comes to your work history, you can't change your dates, but she got her degree in 2003. You don't need it, and you can take it off. And then underneath her skills, customer service and QuickBooks, those recruiters and hiring managers see your top 2 or 3 skills. You don't want this to be your skills. She's an office manager. She runs things. So she hasn't updated this for a while. I'm thinking maybe she hasn't updated this for at least 6 years. When she got her job, maybe she went in or maybe she didn't. But I would make these skills to be the most amazing and most powerful and most relevant, because that's what people see first.
And, you bring up a really good point that I think maybe we should have done a top 12. Don't update this when you're looking for a job or when you're looking for clients. At that point, it's almost too late. What you want to do is keep it up to date, because you never know when you're going to be looking for your next opportunity. And what you want is to be top of mind, because oftentimes when people are making decisions about whether, let's say it's, you're looking for a client and they're making a decision about whether or not they want to work with you, it's probably not the first time that they see you, the first touch point that they have with you where they're making that decision. So if they've been looking for somebody to write their website copy for a while and mine wasn't updated to say website copy, and then all of a sudden I need new clients and I update it, well, I lost all those other touch points beforehand that could have been potentially adding clients to my pipeline. Same thing for your job. Don't wait until you need the job to be up to date with this, because you never know who's looking.
Yes, and that the search engines bring up LinkedIn so high. I feel a little bit of an echo. So high that your LinkedIn profile, there's a good chance your LinkedIn profile is going to come up before your website.
Yes.
Before searching.
You're right. All right, so we are going to switch back and take a peek at a profile that I'm going to share about. And I picked this one. So the first one that we were looking at was somebody who was directly looking for clients for the service that they offer. But one big misstep that I see is a lot of B2B brands don't have the people in their company also keeping their profiles up to date. And it's really important. If you work for a company, hopefully your company is encouraging you, if you guys need to find clients, to also, really polish up your profile. And so we're going to take a look at John's here. And again, he has, great picture, clean banner. And so I love that we can find out who he is and what he does right away. What I would love to see a bit more is what's in it for me. Right? John actually wrote a really good post today about the benefits of working with him. And when I came to his profile and was looking at it, I'm like, if he had some of those things he talked about, like, increasing employee retention and cutting hiring time in half, that's pretty impressive. And so, I think he could have his banner and his headline compel me to read a little bit more. Then when we go down to his about section, again, it's got a great start. Just like Jay said, he poses a question that's hitting at the pain point of the person that you are trying to connect with. It's easy to read. You can clearly see he's calling out different types of clients that he's looking to work with. This is for businesses. This is for IT professionals. And that's super, super helpful. He also has a call to action at the end, but it's to check out the company's website. And so I would just include potentially maybe some other ways to get in touch with him as well. Let's see. He also, if you have a job where, he could throw some testimonials in there, some statistics, things like that are really powerful in an about section that helps speak to those results.
Yeah, it's kind of bland, right? Don't you think it's kind of bland?
I do. And
Yeah.
especially if you guys know John at all, like that is not his personality. And so I was actually going to bring that up a little bit later. This is not consistent with how he shows up on LinkedIn. And so all of his posts are engaging and filled with personality. And that is not the same as in his profile. So yes, I think that this could totally, be zhuzhed up a little bit. All right. He leverages this featured section. This is fantastic. I would say he's got 5 different posts that you can look at. I don't know why they're coming up so big all of a sudden over here. But I would pick your top 3 because that's what people can see. What are the 3 things you want people to see the most and that are the most impactful? For his role, a case study would be really powerful to have here. Recommendations would also be strong. He doesn't have any. And then same thing when we come to, this is the part that really made me think about his personality, is this is very much about tech bank that he works for, but he is talking about himself as, trying to get clients for their company. And so I would say it's really important that this was a little bit more readable, spoke to some more of his personality, and like, how is this in a way that speaks to your ideal client? Okay. I think that's good. That's all that I had for this profile. Deb, do you want to?
Yes, if you go down to John's work experience, what I see a lot, if you go up the business manager, okay, it sounds like it's echoing a little bit. Sorry about that. What I see a lot is that people have what their company does. A tech bank, we're not just an IT company. Get that out of there. This is your profile that goes with you wherever you're going. And I would start this as, my secret sauce. There's something about me, what I bring to the table.
Yeah, and then he's trying to attract clients, and this almost reads like he's trying to look for a job. And so align your profile with what your goal is. I think that's really important too. That's, I know, a common thing when I'm on calls with clients and we're talking about their websites, and I'll say, well, what's your main goal? What's the thing you want people to do? And they're like, I haven't thought of that before. Same thing with your LinkedIn profile. What's the main thing you want people to do? And is that evident throughout, whether you're looking for a job or looking to attract clients?
Cool.
All right. So I think
we should go to Q&A, right?
I think so. That's what,
Yes.
I'm on the wrong tab. Hang on, let me switch on over.
Stacey, you're doing great. You're multitasking everything. Congratulations.
Thank you. I think I've been doing pretty well until now. All of a sudden it's not. Oh, here we go. Share this tab instead. Sweet. All right. So, open to work banner or no open to work banner? So that's a question. Deb, you touched on that before. You want to go ahead and pop that one in while I look back, talk about that while I look back through the comments?
Yes, I think no. I think there is a connotation to it. I think there is. I think people look at it. They may look at you differently. I'm not a proponent of it. That being said, some people love it. Some people want it. Some people are proud about it. So it is a personal decision. If you feel strongly about it and you want it there, you put it up. If you say, I don't know if I feel good about it, but somebody told me I should do it, then I would say take it down.
That's okay. Thank you. And I'm super excited about Kate's question that I just saw in here. Kate asked, can you talk more about what makes a good headline? How do you find the balance between search optimized versus catchy? So that's a really, really good question. In your headline, you do want some words that when you think about search intent, you want to think about 2 things. If somebody needs a messaging strategist or a copywriter and they type that in, I would love to show up in the search, right? So I definitely have those in my title. But what I really want to think about, specifically thinking about clients, is what's in it for them? What is it that they are trying to do? And so my clients are trying to find clarity in their messaging. They want to have confidence in how they talk about their business. They want to, get more clients. And so those are the things that you want to speak to. And especially important is take a look next time you're on your phone and look at the comment section and see what the teeny tiny bit of that headline actually shows up. It's the first maybe 10 words. And so you want those to capture the attention. So I have a question in mind. I think I'm always playing around with it. And that's the other thing, guys, like feel free to play around with these. They don't need to be static, your profiles. You can make adjustments. And then where it says copywriter and messaging strategist, I have those toward the end. And that's for two reasons. One is some people don't even know what a copywriter is, right? Or like, what does a messaging strategist do? That's not going to draw their attention in. But if I start with something like, do your dream clients know why you're the go-to solution? Then somebody who's like, oh, well, no, they don't. They might want to click and read some more. So think about what is it a main pain point of your clients? What are they desiring? Like, what do they really want to get? Have some of that in there. And the other thing is like, look at what catches your eye. When you guys see other people's headlines, what draws you in? What do you like about them? And also talk to your customers. Sometimes when I shift my headline on something, I'll go ahead and just send it to either like current clients or past clients. And I'll say, hey, I just adjusted my headline. Give me your thoughts. And sometimes they're like spot on. I love it. Or like, eh. And then I know, you want to see, is it speaking to the people you want to speak to?
All right, Stacey, I want to say something about that. As a job seeker, you can have the impact that you make for people, but you want your title. Recruiters and hiring managers just want to take a look and see, oh, she's a director of operations, she's a project manager. Make sure that you have your title. It's very crystal clear. Also, they search on those words. That's why it's important. And Denise just had a follow-up about, she said, I don't have the open to work banner, and I have that open to work in my language. Do you approve of this? Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. That is the perfect segue, I think, into our last little bit here. And if you guys have more questions, you know where to find us. Definitely connect with us on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out. We really appreciate you guys giving us your time, your attention, and your energy today. And so we just want to share, we each have a resource that we want to share with you. And so Deborah, I'll pop your links into the chat as you're sharing what you have to offer.
Okay, well, I have a combo offer. I appraise resumes, so I can tell you in a matter of seconds what's missing from your resume, as well as why you're not getting traction, you're not getting interviews. And along with your resume appraisal, I also appraise your LinkedIn profile, and they both go hand in hand. If your resume is not effective, this means that your LinkedIn profile is not effective either. So there's a Google form, you can sign up for that. And I also have a LinkedIn job search success program for those who want to get noticed by recruiters and hiring managers on LinkedIn. It's a 5-week program. It's something that's a little bit more in depth when you say, you know what leadership is important to me, and it's something that I want to focus on next.
Okay, I love Audrey's comment. Is awesome. She said, this was a great presentation. I changed up my headline while on this webinar. Huh. Yay. Awesome. Well, I think you're going to love, Audrey, what I'm offering next. So what I want to share with you guys is a free download. It's a guide that I created specifically to optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So I've gone through, found some examples, and section by section, you'll see some examples of great banners, what makes them great. And then there's lists of do's and don'ts, and that's for all the main section on your profile. So you can grab that. It's a free download in the chat. And yeah, and those things are there for you. Mine is primarily going to be most beneficial for those of you who are looking to seek clients. But if you're a job seeker, feel free as well. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Deb, we're getting lots of thank yous and appreciation in the chat. So we appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you very much.